Hi again. This is Shane here on behalf of Keith's Specialty Store. Today we're going to talk a little bit about ventless heaters. So these ventless heaters are an excellent way to add additional heat to an existing room to supplement your primary heat source. They're excellent in a power outage. They don't require any power to operate the heat source, of course. Now some of these include a fan assist where it would force the air out of it and circulate the air through the room. Those of course require a 120 source such as this. But it will still provide heat without the fan. So they're good to have in a power outage, and given what recently happened in the South, I felt it was wise to discuss this, and in fact we're going to install this today. Some tools you'll need. You'll need a hammer drill with a masonry bit if you're going into concrete here. Otherwise you just need wood screws and a regular drill bit, wood bit, excuse me. You'll need a level, make sure the unit is leveled, a good location to put it. If you don't already have a gas line, you may want to hire a professional to run a gas line to wherever it is you want to locate this unit. It's pretty simple, but it can be a dangerous task if not done properly and checked for leaks properly. So you'll see I already have a gas line here, so I'm just going to take this ventless that I picked up. It's a little used. I got it off a buddy pretty cheap though. You want to make sure that whatever ventless it is that you purchase is set up for the type of gas that is provided to your home. So if you're on natural gas, you want to make sure that your unit is set up for natural gas. If you're on propane, likewise, you'll need a propane unit. So anyway, what we're going to do first is grab our level. Now I already have some pieces of wood attached to the back of this unit just to make it a little easier and the video a little shorter. So I'm going to take my level here. Also, let me add, this is a little bit simpler with two people, but what I did was just stack some, I have a cooler and a toolbox, and that gets it to the perfect height that I want it. You want to keep in mind, if your basement takes on water, the location in the room, if you have small children, things like that, because this unit does get hot. They provide quite a bit of heat. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take our level here. You can see we're a little bit high, so just we'll rock the unit over. We'll take our cordless hammer drill. Now this can be kind of loud, so if you have little ones or something, you may warn them, or do this when they're not home. If you have animals that react poorly to loud sounds, this can be quite disturbing. Now if you're doing an operation like this, it's a good idea to have two drills set up, one to drill the holes and one to set the anchors. You can use any kind of anchor for this, like Tapcon screws. I'm using masonry screws, similar to Tapcons. That's kind of the industry name for them. So anyway, we have our pilot holes drilled. drive in our anchors there. Now these units aren't very heavy. They don't require a whole ton of support. But I went ahead and put another section of wood underneath of it here that I'm also going to drive some anchors through. So I'm going to be off camera for just a second, just to let you know that's what I'm doing. You can see we're pretty secure there. 4 anchors. We're still level. We're all set. So now it's time to make our gas connection. For that, you need 2 crescent wrenches of similar size. The closeness, the more close in size the wrenches are, the easier they are to work. Here I have 2 8-inch. They will handle most of these type tasks. Right here I have a flexible appliance connector. It's a pretty long one. So we're just going to put a little loop in it here. Now you don't want to make this bend here too tight. I believe the recommended radius is 3 inch, so you want 3 inches from the in between the 90-degree angle here. Go ahead and start it by hand. Get it nice and snug. Now the reason you want 2 wrenches is you want a backer wrench. So you want a wrench on the valve itself that you can tighten this nut up against. So we'll go ahead and adjust our wrenches to size. Make sure we have a good purchase on it. When you feel it's nice and tight, you're all set. You're gonna go ahead and do a similar thing down there at the bottom. Make your gas connections at the unit itself. Now you'll see here at the gas train, when it's installed, you want to make sure that you have what's called a drip leg right before the unit takes off. What this does will catch any debris, moisture. It should collect in this little cavity down here. So it doesn't go into the internal gas valve of the unit and cause a malfunction or a failure. So once we're to this point, we make sure that all of our connections are tight. I'm just going to go ahead and check this one again. You can never be too sure. Okay, that's all right. So we're going to go ahead and turn the gas valve on. At first, you can go ahead and smell for leaks. Then you want to take some soap bubbles. Now, this is purchased from an actual supply house. Keith Specialties should carry it. So anyway, you want to take some gas bubbles, or some soap bubbles, Dawn dish soap mixed with a little bit of water, diluted to relieve the surface tension. That gas pressure, you go ahead and daub it on in some sort of applicator, a paper towel, anything like that. This here has a particular special dauber in it. We'll go ahead and get it nice and apply a liberal coat. You want to go behind the fitting. You take your rag and catch any drips. Go ahead and let it sit there for a second. Now you're going to let that sit for a couple minutes, and you're going to inspect for any sort of bubbles that are expanding. If you get a big bubble blowing up, then that's a pretty sure sign that there's a leak at that fitting. So go ahead and snug it up a little bit and test it again. If you have a gas leak and you cannot get it snugged up, it's best to call a professional. Now, these types of fittings here on these appliance connectors don't require any sort of special Teflon thread tape or what we refer to as pipe dope, which is just a liquid thread tape in essence that you brush on with an applicator. So once we're at this point, get a real close look at it. Make sure you don't have any bubbles. We're all good. So we can go ahead and wipe her on down. Alright, so we're all set there. Now we come over here to this side of the unit. Okay, now in this particular unit, depending on if the gas line was just recently installed or if it's been turned off for a while, there's most likely going to be some air in it. You want to make sure you read the operating instructions. They are all operate a little bit differently. This one here, for instance, makes you want to turn it to pilot. And you're going to depress the knob for 30 seconds. That should be adequate time to bleed the air through the gas line to come out the pilot orifice.